Hey guys, good morning. Stu Hill here with CHEM.digital. We are trying a new live stream thing for an hour in the mornings just to talk about real estate marketing stuff. Today I'm going to begin with a new Compass style real estate website template that we've developed. You may or are likely familiar with Compass.com. Their website is known for, among things, the modern design, the tech-forward approach, the simplicity of use, the property forward, listing forward philosophy behind the user experience on the website. So we've created a WordPress template using it can be hosted on any WordPress platform, but ideally we've started using the Lightspeed WordPress platform, which includes a very advanced caching system. This speeds up the WordPress implementation by up to 300 times. So the results there, as far as how that translates into page speed and Google's other page insights into the user experience on the website, is dramatically increased. They have a tool called PageSpeed. This new template that we've developed on the Lightspeed platform scores 100% across the board. So that is in terms of best practices, SEO, accessibility, and then the actual speed of the website. So all of these things are ranking factors for Google as far as the technology and the platform go. So your on-site and your technical SEO, it checks a lot of boxes there and also gives the users a great experience. So this ties into the whole concept of real estate SEO, and I'm going to dive in today to how Google ranks websites, how you can use video, and how to optimize your real estate videos for SEO, how you can tie those couple of things together, or how video and the content of a page can work together, as well as sort of keywords and best practices there, including frequently asked questions, which has become the forefront of search. So with the advent of AI and this sort of AI age that we've gone in or just sort of gotten into, and this was something that I was kind of thinking about the other day. We've had in history, right? So at one point, let's say in the 90s, you bought a computer. They used to say by the time that you got it home, it was already outdated. I bought a new laptop not so long ago, and the specs on it were pretty much the same as the one that it was replacing a couple of years ago. So it's like there was no sort of dramatic increase on the processor side of things. However, it was significantly faster than the previous model because there was a much more powerful graphics card in it. So, and again, that goes along with cryptocurrency mining. So for mining operations, they typically use NVIDIA and similar graphics processors, GPUs, in order to mine cryptocurrency. So these mining plants and facilities that you see, they use a shit ton of power. And that's because they're running all of these graphics modules, and apparently that's the best platform hardware platform to mine Bitcoin on, and other cryptocurrencies. So there's been a lot of increase in on the technology side of things, the hardware side of things for graphics recently, and then now with not much else going on, we run into this sort of mega transition to AI, where it's become like the biggest thing. The release of ChatGPT by OpenAI kicked off the whole thing. That got Google scrambling, and I'm segueing into what I want to talk about here. That got Google scrambling to release something of their own. So that's Baird. However, many say that it is nowhere near as capable as ChatGPT. And Microsoft, obviously, they've put a commitment of $10 billion behind ChatGPT right off the bat. Invoked it into the Bing search engine. So then you got this conversation going back and forth. So that changes search into this conversational medium. And conversation involves a lot of questions. So if you think of voice search, which is the sort of the last era that came around. So Alexa cancel. Can't mention that name too many times. There's one sitting here in the office kitchen. But the voice search, when people are asking questions, they do it in a conversational way. So that can involve more words in the question. We've on our website launched, that's CHEM.digital, we've launched a Q&A section just to kind of add some more answers to this. We've started to participate more in Alexa, Alexa cancel. Users database, so there's question and answers there that you can create, log into. So our focus, obviously, real estate technology, real estate marketing, real estate websites. Any questions that we think that our users or our audience might be asking about those topics, we've tried to create some answers within the Alexa answers as a Alexa answers contributor, so that we're getting in front of people and just kind of monitoring what it is that people are asking, how they're phrasing questions. There's usually extra words because people are thinking on the fly. Again, it's conversational, and so with the integration of OpenAI's ChatGPT into Bing, that creates a conversational search engine. So you're not just having these sort of this chat back and forth. You're finding the answers, and they're using the AI technology to try and figure out how to best answer a question, and then to pair that up with results in the search engines. So that brings forward to the front of search and things that you should be optimizing your site for, which is like how-tos and questions about things. So answers to questions. With that said, people also ask, which is that section on Google, just under the first couple of results or the sponsored results, where there's some additional questions that are laid out down there. Kind of getting listed within PAA, as it's called, or abbreviated. Getting listed within People Also Ask is important because you get more of the SERP real estate that way. So SERP real estate, SERP being the search engine results page. So when you type a query into Google, you get the results page. If we talk about real estate of the results page, you've got sponsored results at the top, which could be 1, 2, 3, 4. I've even seen 5 sometimes. Then you've got if local search. So if it's something local that you're looking for, then those are the Google My Business listings, where the map and the few other listings underneath. If it's not a local related search, then you want to be looking below that at a couple of organic results, video results, all kind of in that same area. People Also Ask, and then the rest of the results. So if you, when designing or developing content for your blog, you're likely not going to get the homepage of your website picked up for anything other than a branded search. So let's say you've got a blog post on, in terms of real estate, on a particular neighborhood. if you take a larger scale one that's got a bit more going on, maybe some amenities. Let's say California. Let's say Tahoe Donna in Truckee, California, right? So Tahoe Donna is a big planned community with things like a golf course, a driving range, a leisure center, an equestrian center, downhill ski slope, campsite, restaurants, corner store, or beer and bullets, I think, as the locals call it. So those amenities, to name a few, are within the neighborhood. There's lots of questions going to be asked about that neighborhood. So you could do a blog post on things that are going on there. You could do some frequently asked questions about Tahoe Donna. You could do a video about Tahoe Donna and different areas of the community, the equestrian, different amenities within the community, the equestrian center, different streets, best places to live, things to avoid, things that are great about it, and really kind of cover all the bases in terms of a video that links to the blog post, a video that's embedded in the blog post, frequently asked questions that are posted within the blog, content about the blog, and then to top it all off and to tie this back to real estate, then you would insert some IDX real estate listings into that page, and all of those things tie together: the YouTube video, the frequently asked questions, the blog post itself. So if somebody's searching on Google, asking a question perhaps about Tahoe Donna, chances are, if you've answered the question in a video, if you've answered the question in frequently asked questions, if you've answered the question in the blog post itself as well, or in a separate blog post, you could rank theoretic, and let's say you have a paid sponsored result as well for your real estate services, or just for the blog post, you could rank in the sponsored result with a video underneath it, with your blog post, with the people also ask, and then there's also the potential for it to tie it to other pages within your blog as well. And you could theoretically take over the full above the fold portion, so everything that's seen on the screen, you could take over 80% of the real estate on that search engine results page just by linking those things together. Now, you need a few things like the website itself, right? The technical SEO, what I mentioned about our new Lightspeed platform. The site needs to be accessible. It needs to use schema markup. Now, schema markup or schema is a standard that's employed by websites, and what Google bases how Google learns about the video. YouTube will go through, listen to the audio track, and take frame by frame that video, see what's on the screen in the way of text and what have you. Google doesn't do that. YouTube is a video search engine. Google is a search engine. So YouTube's search is fundamentally different than that of Google. Google is looking to make the information on the web accessible to all, and that is a different philosophy than searching for videos and search results. Making content accessible, and the relevancy of that content is really related to trying to understand what it is that the search user wants, and bring them content that answers their query. So with that said, when you put in something, so what goes onto YouTube as far as the video, the description, and then the link to the blog post, that is different than what needs to go into the web page that you're developing, and how you structure that web page to provide content to the user and make that content accessible to the user. So schema tells Google what's in the video. So one thing that is really important is subtitles. Now that comes under accessibility. That makes video accessible to those that can't see or can't hear, because those subtitles can be fed into the text to audio or the braille writers, etc. So and in addition to that, having the subtitles gives Google something to read about the actual content of the video. So the sort of description of the video and the content within the video, that'll pull from the schema markup. So I use a tool called Loom, and Loom, when I record a video, not live stream like this, when I record one for my vlog about the blog. So every blog post that I do a video about that blog. I post the video on YouTube, different description, link to the blog post, and then in when I post the video to YouTube, I take the transcription from Loom and I drop that in there, and then when I export that with the transcription, I paste the URL from YouTube into WordPress, and that brings over the subtitles for the whole thing, which when I post the blog, it links the two together, and it creates that consistency between the blog post that I've written and the YouTube video, so that there's a level of relevancy between what I've put in the content of the blog and so forth. Now, it doesn't need keyword stuffing. You don't need to do, right. So gone are the days where you mention the same keyword over and over and over again within a blog post. Google is very, very intelligent. They've got tons of different tools now, such as Spam Brain, which identifies kind of people that are trying to inorganically stuff their content with keywords in order to get it to rank. That they're concerned about Google is their customer. As you will, is not the person paying for all the ads and things that's driving the revenue, but it's the user that is typing in a user that is typing in a search phrase to return a result. So while the money comes from the one side, nobody's going to use Google, kind of the same way that I reluctantly use Bing, because it just never seems to bring the results that I want, and they're usually quite technical searches that I do. And I just posted a blog post today, if you're interested, on how to use the advanced search features of Google, so ands, ors, and different parameters that you can put into Google in order to get more specific results for what you're looking for, and to do comparisons and things like that. So check out that blog post. But that aside, I use Google over Bing or any of the other search engines because of the level of relevancy to my search query. So you have to think, when developing content, about the user and reverse engineer the content from that. Like, what are people thinking about this Tahoe Donna neighborhood? What are people thinking about when they're searching for this? And a good way to analyze that is to look at the people also ask section, look at the related search section, and try and figure out what your competitors are doing. Think of Google like a magazine. You'll see real estate agents advertised in this magazine, that magazine. Are they your competition? Is there a park bench where you want your face rather than theirs? It very much works the same way. So let's talk about the foundation of this. So I'll give you a run through here of our new platform. So this is the Compass look and feel. So if you go to compass.com, you got your search box in the background. The search box, big picture in the background, straight into some listings, cities available, and then obviously being a nationwide or nearly nationwide real estate company, they've got a lot of a lot of searches related to other areas. So we have engineered a similar looking site for ease of use, and because sorry about the squeaky chair, the ease of use and search engine optimization in mind. So we've got a search box in the middle. Now this will allow you to search by city, postcode. You can even put in an address directly and it'll find it. So that's universal search box. This uses the iHome Finder IDX that has a Zillow style listings and results. As you scroll down here, listings recommended for you. So these are we haven't used 2 rows here. We've used a single row, but these can be programmed to either new listings or kind of whatever you want them to be, and you can refine the criteria. So if you want anything that's come on the market in the last 7 days, you could do a section for luxury homes, anything you want there. This is integrated with Follow Up Boss, so the Follow Up Boss phone number is in there. Any leads that come from the website, they'll drop right over into Follow Up Boss. We've picked some neighborhoods here, so Memphis, Germantown, etc., etc. As you dive into the neighborhoods like Memphis, lead capture, so front and center. As you scroll down, I'm logged in, so this has a black bar at the top, but you'll see. But for a user, it'll stick there. Sign up for listing reports, so they can get an email report, just like they can from the MLS. However, it would be branded to yourself. You can switch between open homes, market reports, and as you scroll down here, then this becomes the usable area of the screen. So the listing results will scroll within this section. There's nothing else moving on the screen. It gives a very Zillow-like, and you can see on the map here, it'll point for any listing I'm hovering over. It'll move around over in this area. You see 360, 200,000. Over here, it'll point it out on the map, so you can kind of see where it is. Depending on how you've got these sorted, you can sort by list date, price ascending, descending, sort by the listing number. I suppose that would give you the newest listings first if you have the higher number. This website in Memphis is also connected to 2 different MLSs. At the bottom, for the purposes of search engine optimization, we've got some content here about Memphis. So that includes things about the real estate market, stuff about the schools, notable residents. So we create all this content with every website that we build for the client. We don't, unlike pretty much every other design company out there for real estate websites, we don't ask you for the content. Obviously, the about you we'll need some help on, but for the most part, all of the community stuff we'll create that for you. So once you dive into a listing here, and I think that so once you dive into a listing here, we have a very much a Redfin / Realtor.com style page. So if I do Redfin and let's click on a property here. Right, so similar in the features in and out. Tour this home. Right, we are showing we are representing the same sort of style there. So any user can save this property to their property organizer. They can schedule a tour with you. They can request more information from you. So lots of prompts here to generate some sort of lead from the property. That lead can go over to you. It can be sent in a text message, sent in an email, dropped into your CRM system directly. However you want to receive the lead. And again, all of the MLS features of the property. Now, obviously, this isn't listed by Kaizen. This is another listing agent, but which is Crestcore Realty. So everything here sends the lead to you. with the actual listing broker's name just right down in the footer here. So walk score, another great feature. Schools gives you details on all of the schools within the area. Mortgage calculator, similar listings, map of where the property is, etc. So lots of ways to capture leads, all of the information they want, nice, clean, modern layouts that's similar to Redfin.com, Realtor.com. Can't spell this morning. It's still early. So if I do one for Memphis here, see what's going on. Realtor.com, Memphis, Tennessee. Let's take a look at that one. Again, schedule a tour, save, share, etc. So very similar layout there. Now, as I mentioned, this site runs on the WordPress Lightspeed platform, so it's exceptionally fast. Now you can program for the purposes of SEO, and I mentioned this earlier. You're likely not going to see too many people that are landing on your homepage for anything less than a brand search result. It's good to do a sponsored search at the top of Google with a limited with a limited budget. That's the word. So it's good to do a sponsored search with a limited budget to put at the top of Google for the sake of you getting more exposure on that search engine results page. And I was checking my live stream in the background. I'll mute that. So so there you have that. Now, client reviews. These are Zillow reviews, and these pull automatically from Zillow through a plugin for WordPress. So that's nice and easy for your for review management. Just send everybody to Zillow for your reviews. That would probably be the easiest. That way they're on there, and it can, for social proof, it helps to have like a third party provider rather than just taking reviews and putting them on your website. If they're posted on a third-party website, it gives them, in terms of social proof, it gives them a little bit more validity there. So this is our new template available now. I'll run through some of the other pages here for you. So obviously the buy page. This is similar to Zillow. So the map, the search box, the listings, the filters, the register for lead capture. Zillow being a lead generation company that sell leads to real estate agents and mortgage people. So again, they can save the listing here, sign up for an account. That'll pop them over to you. We have an automated valuation tool, very similar to Zillow, and how Zillow came about through their AVN system. So you plug your address in here. This actually works nationwide, so even if you've got a relocation client, you can this will work nationwide. It'll spit out a valuation. You can run a couple of test valuations on this as well, an increase or decrease depending on your market, the number that it spits out, and obviously an appraisal number versus a marketing valuation for what the house might sell for versus what the house possibly could be worth are two different things. So how you pick that happy medium between the two is it is pretty market dependent, I think. Communities, these drop into each one of the pages that we've developed for each of the communities. So it shows property listings, it shows and sort of the relevancy of it, right? So within each one of these property search results, we've got we've got things like school information, walk score, stuff like that, right? So having and public utilities and stuff. So the content that we've created here, that's down at the bottom, nobody's really going to see this, but it's important for the search engines because in the listings, there's stuff about the schools. On the page, there's stuff about the schools. So this hierarchy that's created gives us this hierarchy that's created on the main page about homes for sale in Germantown, Tennessee, like this. That leads into a bunch of properties that have stuff about the amenities. Each one's a member of perhaps slightly different school district or area, however that works. However, the public amenities, police, things like that. When this is mentioned in listing descriptions, when it's noted within the property details, it creates this hierarchical effect of and a level of relevancy there between what's on this page, what's on the sub pages, what's on the main page. So when you do keyword research, you want to start off, the main keyword for any blog post or any page should be less of a keyword and more of a topic. So Germantown real estate being the topic, and then your related key phrases would be things about that topic. So tips for buying a house in Germantown. Best areas to live in Germantown. Like it falls into this hierarchy, and then you can split off further and delve a little deeper down that vertical to generate more content and get more interest. So those things. So that's the way that the structure works. Adding FAQs within we do that within the blog post rather than on this particular page. So within the blog here on the website, we'll jump over and kind of cover that now. We talk about the neighborhoods, the diversity, affordable housing, rental market, investment potential, and then of course we stuff some listings within that page as well. Though that combination, that's a good start. And then as we start to delve more in to the topic, so Memphis being the top of that hierarchy, as we get into downtown, midtown, East Memphis, as we get into the history, the culture, things to do, investing in the city. So that's how we're going to create that multi-layered approach to SEO. There's a strategic plan, and it's always best to do that from the ground upwards. So and again, if you're creating content for a website, if you're you're putting all this time, effort, money into building out all of these pages, then you should own the website. You wouldn't build an extension onto a property that you were renting, likely, without some consideration. So these lease platforms where you're tied into Real Geeks, you're tied into Boomtown to build out all of these pages. You don't own that. So if they make a change to their system, if they hike their prices so much that it doesn't, it's not financially viable anymore, you've got a noose around your neck as far as all of the content that you've created. So that's that is a strong reason why you should utilize a standalone solution that you own. Now, WordPress is really cheap to run, so you can let's see. All you need is a hosting account. We recommend a dedicated server. We use. There's glare on the screen there. We use Azure from Microsoft, and we use Google Cloud. Both perform very well. you can stick the site on GoDaddy. Strongly recommend a dedicated server though. Dedicated server, dedicated IP address. That way you get the performance out of the system. And then you need the template to throw on top of it, and that's about it. There's some plugins that make things better. So Yoast SEO is a plugin I'd recommend, and SEMrush. SEM stands for Search Engine Marketing, but SEMrush will give you access to all of the keyword data related to your competitors and so forth. That way you can figure out what you should be writing about, more importantly, kind of figure out what your competitors are doing and how to beat them in different areas. Also, other relevant keywords. So check out our blog, CHEM.digital/blog. That will give you some idea of what you should be in terms of keyword research, how to do that, search engine optimization, how to do that. Of course, we do all of that stuff, right? So we have a fairly unique SEO program in that we charge per keyword. So we charge $50 a month a keyword, and you can swap those out. There's a minimum of 5 keywords that you can use. So or that for us to work on. So those would be, we pick a city. So let's say in the terms of this website, Memphis. And if I go back over here to the homepage on this site, things like homes for sale in, Memphis homes for sale in gated communities, Memphis waterfront homes, condos for sale in Memphis, townhomes for sale in Memphis. All of those things add up to a keyword. So we can start with as low as 5, and as you start to rank for those keywords, we can switch them out for different ones. So once you've placed, and if you can continue to monitor it, but once you've placed, you don't really need to go back and do too much unless there's been a change, but that's all sort of done through monitoring. So with that said, you pick a bunch of keywords, let's say Memphis, right, and 10 keywords for Memphis. So you spend $500 a month. Then after you've done Memphis, we move on to Germantown, and so a couple of months on Memphis, maybe 1, 2, 3. It doesn't take as long as a lot of these search engine optimization companies tell you that it does. So they'll say, minimum term of 3 months before you see any results. I post a video on YouTube, and I do a blog post that publishes out to Twitter, to Facebook, other places. We're showing up on Google at the latest within 24 hours, but that video, within 5 to 10 minutes, that's up there. So we see instant results, pretty much. We can show you some results, that are tangible for those keywords immediately. It requires a bit of help from you. So, like, one of the things that we ask our SEO clients to do is to go and film a rough, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be professionally produced, but film a rough video for us on how to, on a neighborhood walkthrough, or if there's a home that is vacant within a particular neighborhood, then we want them to go and do a home tour of that. Question and answers, so those frequently asked questions that I mentioned. We can use the video, the description of the video that we'll create. We'll take that, we'll link that to the blog post. We'll embed the video in the blog post, put some real estate listings in there from the IDX, and then, what else can we do? And then push that out to all the social platforms as well. So within our system, on our website, let me start like that. On our website, we have a search engine optimization tool. And so we've just had a lead from a guy called Tom, and he has put through this this website here, right? So he's put let me switch this screen. So Tom has this is Tom's website. Now Tom has put this through our search engine optimizer. So if I go to CHEM.digital, and I'd encourage you to run this on your existing real estate website. Right, I'm going to put that in. I'm just going to put one of our email addresses in. Again, make sure you check out our website, chem.digital, no.com, no nothing. So chem.digital. Use our real estate search engine optimization analyzer. Put his URL in there. I think it needs that. Right, this will spit out a report, and it'll tell us exactly what is going on with his site. So as it scrolls through, on-page SEO. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so this is fairly typical of most of the real estate websites that we get put through the analyzer. So on-page SEO average, there's probably some technical things that they could do there. Links, there's very, very few that excel in the way of links, and this is really one of the most important factors in ranking, because people link sources linking to your website. So Forbes, local news media, the local newspaper, other real estate related sites, the business websites. Anyone that's linking to your website gives your website an air of authority. So the links here, links are like the single most important factor of an SEO campaign. The more places that link into you, the better. They need to be relevant though. So anything that you can do with the local news media. There's a service called Haro, HARO, which stands for Help a Reporter Out. If you sign up for that, you'll 3 times a day you get an email. Most of the time there's nothing kind of real estate related in there, at least for the list that I'm on. However, a couple times a week there'll be an article where a reporter is looking for a quote, and for you to provide the quote to them. As far as something about the real estate market, that provides a relevant link or a relevant citing of you within that post. So on-page SEO, links, right? Some improvement here. Usability, that's great. Although usability technically isn't one of the highest priorities of Google search and page insight. I'll delve into that another time. Performance of the site, that's important. It's important, however, some of these automated analyzers, when you use IDX listings and whatnot, Google's not particularly fussed about the size of images. General sort of image optimization is great. However, a lot of the IDXs use this API interface where the images are still full size. That's a bigger download, but since there's now like unlimited data, 5G on the phones, etc., it's not the highest. The image size isn't the highest priority. They don't really care as long as a page is like less than 5 megabytes in size. Google doesn't really have too much issue with that. General performance of the site though, so things like content shifting. So when somebody loads a website, bam, it comes up in front of them, right? If things are moving around, if it's a site that you go back to all the time, you kind of know where things are. So like your online banking or something like that, right? The site comes up, you know where you're going to start. You don't want that to be moving around. They call that a layout shift. So as far as performance goes, that's the sort of stuff that Google's looking for in the way of performance, is things not moving around, and the page loading. The images can load secondary to that. And then social. So we connect all of our websites out to Facebook, Twitter, and they will take the content and they will recycle it. It'll continue to publish out. And then again, having those social networks there with other content, with followers, etc., you're tapping into a different audience in addition to just what people are searching for on Google. So that's important too. However, so here if we take Tom's SEO results, right? Title, tag, and again, this is like this hierarchy thing. So the way Google reads a site, there's the title, which is H1. So H1 is the topic, and then under that H2 are the sub bits of that topic, and H3 fit under the H2 of sub bits of each of those sub bits, if you will, in kind of blocks. So Northwest manufactured homes, right? There's 7 title tags: homes, home, build, manufactured, construction, quality, factory, other, right? The phrases Northwest manufactured homes, modular homes, right? Now these pages need some optimization, and they kind of need tying into this is obviously a search for the company specifically, so that's a brand search. Manufactured homes in the Northwest, or manufactured homes for sale in the Northwest, or a bunch of content that's being created, so amount of content, word count 395, that's too short. It's cool to have a couple of pages with shorter content, 300 words, obviously the answers to questions in things like the frequently asked questions area, all of that stuff can be shorter. However, there should be some long format content as well, and long formats like 1200 words, referencing videos, citing external resources to give validity to what's on the page, and proving to Google that it's relevant. So if you buy a domain name, like and a lot of people do this for a community, so homes for sale in Pleasant Point neighborhood, right? Right, that's just, you don't need to buy all of these domain names for the neighborhood. And in order to get a very small website, like just a single site for a neighborhood to rank, you still got to put a lot of content on there that shows to Google that it's there to inform visitors, not just to get them to, and not just clickbait, right? Not just to use that domain name because you think that you're going to get #1 in Google just by putting some real estate listings on a site. That's not the most useful things for users. Image alt attributes here. There's there's missing a couple that's affecting the accessibility of the website. Technically, the platform's fine. No analytics. It shows to Google that you don't have much interest in your visitors and what's going on the website. That's another important thing. And then obviously schema, structured data. This is important so that Google can effectively read the content of the page or read the content of the page better. They are not ranking for any keywords. So this is somebody that we'll reach out to this morning to offer some assistance in getting this site to, having no keywords, having no description. That means that the Google SERP, search engine result page snippet, is missing that description that you would find underneath that. So could use a bit of help here. So yeah, there you have it. That's how our SEO analyzer tool works. And if you focus on, if you've got a niche like luxury keywords, as you see here in my little ticker, you can focus on luxury keywords as a niche within your market and build out a vertical of under the topic of luxury real estate, under the topic of waterfront homes, under the topic of condos, whatever it is, build out a page for every condo development in the area. We've got a client in Chicago that literally has a page on his website for every building in Chicago and any condos that are for sale within there. However, he gets thousands of leads every month because he's structured that in such a way that he's got Chicago, the suburb, the area, and then the buildings all interlinked together, similar buildings, similar condos in different buildings, stuff like that. So so focusing on all of these different areas is a way to build out a solid SEO strategy. But certainly, I would recommend linking that to Google with the video as well. I'm just going to do a quick search here for. Just going to do a quick search here. Right, so I've written a blog post and so on ChatGPT, right, GPT, on market research, and my video shows up here at the top of the search results. I've asked a bunch of questions about that, and then let's see what other searches. Let's see what other searches we've got here. So I went over this, and how these are the people also asked. So getting listed within here is important, and here's my video again with the link to the blog post within here. So having these reciprocal links back and forth, they greatly increase the chance. And let's try this one as well. USB condoms for realtors, right? These are, if you don't know what these are, there's been, the federal government have brought out some guidance recently of the charging points at airports, and how people are kind of skimming like they used to on the ATMs. When you put your charger in, it's putting malware on the phone. These devices stop. These devices, they in a, I have one here, in any USB cable, the 4 prongs. The 2 outside ones are for power, the 2 inside ones are for data. So these devices just kind of go in the middle of your power cord and the connection to your phone, so that or the connection to the wall. So it takes the connection away from data transfer. So that cable is solely a power cable to charge your phone. They can't pass any data to and from the phone, like when you plug your phone into your computer and it starts syncing up. These things will stop it from doing that. So it'll protect you. So for any website, you should be monitoring your analytics, social, backlinks, connect it to Google Search Console, which used to be called Webmaster Tools. All of those things are important aspects of building a solid real estate website. But it all starts with a foundation. We've got a bunch of any of the templates that you see on our website. If you go to CHEM.digital, CHEM.digital, no .com or anything like that. If you land on our website, any of those templates that are there, we can customize them to any extent for you. So and we'd be more than happy to do that. We work very quickly. We can have a website up and running in a few days. However, usually the fine tuning obviously takes a couple of weeks to get things, and usually that hangs on stuff like getting an agent bio from you guys. That's that's typically the one thing that we follow up have to follow up on the most, but we'll help you with all the local content and everything else, and then just focus on a neighborhood or a few neighborhoods within a city, so kind of where you sell the most homes, and then we'll take that information and put together a real estate SEO strategy for you. If you want to run your website through our real estate SEO analyzer tool, please go to CHEM.digital. You'll find it right there on the front page for you. Hopefully that's helpful. And if you want any help or just want to have a chat about your SEO strategy for your real estate website, go to our website, CHEM.digital. Again, in the top right corner, just hit that free consultation button, book a consultation with my team, and we can put you on the right track. Hope you found this useful. We're going to try and do this Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time, talking about some different stuff every day. I think tomorrow we're going to cover recruiting and lead generation. So please tune back in. If you like the channel, if you found the content useful, please like the channel and subscribe, like the video and subscribe to the channel, I should say. Those subscribes really help us in building out the audience and being able to do more creative stuff that we have lined up for the rest of this year. Anyway, all the best. Feel free to reach out to us. Again, just book a consultation or hit us up on Twitter at CHEM.digital, or send us an email, hello@chem.digital. I'm Stu Hill from CHEM.digital. Thanks so much for watching.